there are some companies out there that are doing some pretty cool things, and if this is not your company, I'm sorry. I don't mean to bring it up, but maybe it's a good suggestion. We have on our WHBC Newsline right now workplace culture analyst Joel Patterson. Good morning, Joel.
Good morning, Pam. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. So I'm looking through this list and, home-delivered cupcakes and virtual bingo and virtual happy hour, all these kinds of things. Are companies really doing this with their employees?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a strange time, so we're doing some strange things. And, it's more than just that to really keep people engaged and focused in their job, but the fun aspect of it is clearly an important one.
So, I mean, how are they pulling this off? And I mean, what do you think it does for the employees on the other side?
Yeah, so what we've done is we've really tried to boil it down to just a few key tenets. And some of them are things that people have heard before, but they're even more important during this time. Communication, over-communicating, out and listening. So making sure that you're talking facts and you're letting people know what's going on. You got to be transparent, honest, and vulnerable, and you got to provide purpose and make sure that people are busy, they're not bored. I mean, there's not much worse for morale than being bored at home. But the fun aspect is the fourth piece of it. And we're doing things like, I'll give you a great example. We've got a monthly meeting that we've moved to 100% Zoom, and we've got this one guy in the office that just will not stop wearing tank tops. And so what we did is we let everybody know except for him that we were going to wear a tank top on this meeting, and so it forced people to really dig deep in their closet. And I actually had to borrow a tank top from my daughter, but we all put on tank tops and had a meeting in that way. You can do things like change your backgrounds. I know people know that that's a function now, but we've got fireside chats as an example. So you've got your bearskin rug laying on the ground. You mentioned the virtual happy hours. We're also doing things like step challenges to get people out and motivated to burn a few calories instead of just sitting at home all day. Creates a little bit of a competition internally there. And then you also, it's important to realize that you got to really think about how people are going to respond to this. And maybe even the stars and the extroverts that you're used to seeing really overachieve, they might struggle more than you expect and get to the point where they're even a little bit depressed. And if you don't have ways to connect with them, whether they're silly or goofy or work related, they're going to slip into a bit of a funk that you don't want, and you just got to be really proactive about reaching out to them and making sure that they feel connected.
Do you think this is coming from companies who are already creative in the first place, that may have been doing stuff like this even when they had everybody in the building?
That's a great question. I think there's probably an element of that. But really, anybody that runs a business that is concerned about their employees at this point, they better be doing something like this. Because not only is it important to keep them engaged, but think about what's going to happen after this is done and people are interviewing. I think one very important question that's going to come up in future interviews is how did your company respond in COVID? And make sure that you can reply with something that is credible and meaningful to how you took care of your people. And it's really not that hard. There's a lot of ideas that you can steal from other people and that are simple. They don't cost anything. There's really no excuse to not dig in and try to get creative. So
I guess it would probably be wise maybe to actually even ask for help from your employees because, you talking about the tank top situation, that's like everybody joining in and doing something together. So, you could probably even solicit from your employees too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We since this all started, we've always traditionally taken a monthly survey of just how people are doing, and we've increased that to every other week. And one of the things that we've done is ask them, hey, what are the ideas that you've heard from your friends and colleagues at other companies potentially, and we've definitely taken advantage of some of that, but it also gives you an opportunity to identify people that are struggling and to reach out to them individually and get them engaged. We had one lady recently she was just frankly bored And she, just like everybody, our workload has slowed down a little bit, and she didn't have the normal pace that she was used to. And we had an opportunity to reach out to her, and she started developing some marketing content for us, things that they would never have even considered doing on their own. They find that they're really good at and enjoy doing. And so, there's just so many different ways to do it. But don't be afraid to. We like to say R&D is rip off and duplicate. So don't be afraid to do that when you need to as well.
Absolutely. A lot of great ideas there, Joel. Joel Patterson, workplace culture analyst. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Pam. Have a nice day.